All right, everyone. I'm Casey Currie, and this is my absolute first podcast, learning. This is all an experiment, but I wanted to try something new and give the world something that I feel has never been done. We are going to do pre-race, pre-event, basically notifications. I want to give everybody the no-no on where to be, what to do. So right now, I'm with my friend Bud, who works with Score. He does a lot of media. He actually does a lot for Score and for the whole sport. So I have Bud here with me right now. We're sitting in my living room in Baja, and we're getting ready for the 500. I wanted Bud to kind of give us a lowdown of everything going on with the 500, from contingency to the race, to where to go watch on the racetrack, where it's safe, where it's not safe, and then maybe we're going to get some lowdown on Facebook, Twitter, and everywhere you can watch a race.
Thanks for having me, Casey. I'm really excited to be your first. Really important for me to be your first.
Yeah. You know, it's good, Bud.
Absolutely. So it was good racing. You and I raced together 2010, right? It was our first year?
Yes.
We raced the Baja 1000.
Second place.
Yeah, I'll tell you that. So my big apology to Casey is Casey handed the car to me in the lead, and we had a lead by at least an hour. I have raced down here for 7 or 8 years, and I've never been stuck once, and I was very proud to tell people during pre-run that I never got stuck, and they're a bunch of pussies if they get stuck. And I hit a silt bed and got stuck for 2 hours, lost the lead, and then I got us out after we were buried for 3 hours. My co-driver was an idiot, and we got it. And then I spent the next 2 hours trying to catch the lead, and we never caught him. We took second place. I hate it. I saw the trophies hanging at your wall, and there's a one on my wall, second place, and I wanted to commit suicide. It was terrible.
Still a good time, though. BFG definitely did us right back then. We had a great time in the wide open cars, and that was a lot of fun. Great experience, and we got to meet a lot of cool people with that going on.
Yeah, and you won the 1,000 last year, right?
I did. So we won the Baja 1000. We had a great run. It was a lot of fun. Peninsula run is very different. Being a team owner now and a driver, there's a lot of logistics to go down this peninsula, and to have 20 guys or 30 guys driving through the night to get down to La Paz it's a crazy night of racing, because you're not only racing the race, but there's hundreds of other people on the roads, and there's semis going the other way, and the roads are getting narrower, and there's just a lot going on all through the night, and your guys are tired, so it's an incredible feat to be able to finish, let alone win the Baja.
Well, you won the 50th anniversary of the Baja 1000, all right, and this is the 50th anniversary of the run of the Baja 500, and you're entered in a class, and you're probably going to win this one too, so you'll win both 50th anniversaries.
That is the goal. So the goal is to come down here and try to win. I mean, this is obviously the big one. We've been around the sport since I was born, and to sit there and have a chance at winning, the 50th is what we want to do. And, I feel it is a big one. There's a lot of entries here. There's a lot of people down here, and I think the sport's healthier than it's ever been. So it's exciting to come down here and be a part of it.
Do we tell the story of how you won the Baja 1000 because of me, or do we leave that out?
Yeah, well, we leave that out. There's a lot of politics always gets involved, right? Because I'm a complicated guy, and I do way too much stuff, and we'll leave that out. We had a great time. Bud helped me make a good decision on the phone and through lots of emails, and it worked out great. But
Casey's always hustling. He's always hustling. He's trying to do something, trying to better a position. He's a true competitor.
So no, it's good. But now, so let's get on the 500. I want to know. Right now, it's Thursday. People are coming down or want to come down to watch the Baja 500. If you're coming down from California, from anywhere in the world, where do they go? What do they see? I mean, what can they do to watch and capture the Baja 500?
Well, we have 2 days of contingency for the first time because we have so many competitors. We're at about 325 competitors that are signed up. It's not the most we've had. 2007, I think we had 425 competitors, just a shitload. We have 325 competitors. We opened up an early day of contingency for people who want to get through, get one more day of pre-running, get some rest. But tomorrow, the carnival really starts. And carnival is kind of the term I use because it's like Brazil. There's 150,000 people downtown Ensenada. We shut down the streets. They shut down the schools. I think we have extended, if you've seen it, we extended contingency row another mile past the Marina Hotel. So the Marina Hotel used to be the cutoff. Now it's another mile. We have more vendors, longer stretch all the way down. So you come down to Ensenada. We're about 45 minutes south of the border. You see 150,000 people, get to touch all the drivers, hang out with all the drivers, be in contingency row, see all the vendors. It's just a big street party for 10 hours on contingency day.
Yeah, the cool part about that is like what for us as a driver. I mean, there is a lot of companies that come down here, but this is definitely one of the only events. This and the 1,000 that you come down, and when they're saying 150,000 people, it legitimately is 150,000 people swarming your car all day long. So as a fan or anybody that wants to come down and actually see it, it truly is the only time you can walk up and actually look and touch and see every single trophy truck, motorcycle, quad, everything going down is actually all there, and it's out in the open. There's no hiding, and there's no one not there. I mean, every driver comes out, everybody comes and checks everything out as well.
It's really a way, like you said, it's really a way for our sponsors to get up and close, and they see people. It's people from the States, people from Mexico, people from Arizona. It's just they're really from everywhere, and they get near, they get to see it, they get to touch it. You hand out stickers. Guys like you who really work with their sponsors. The sponsors want you there. They want to have that team exposure when they're on contingency. So contingency is a good place. And at the end of contingency is tech, and you have to be teched anyhow.
Yeah.
And we do that, on purpose. Now, the good news about contingency this year, and we've done a lot, but we really stepped up our game in live streaming. We're live streaming 10 hours, probably 10 or 12 hours on Facebook Live on our scoreinternational.com website and our Facebook app. And you can go and the other good thing is Monster now is taking our live stream, and so is BF Goodrich. They're taking a live stream, and they're streaming it with us. So we'll have 26, 27 million people able to watch it. I'm not saying they're all going to watch it, but our analytics are pretty high as how many people tune in.
There is an app, so if everyone downloads the app.
Well, the Score app is really interesting because you can do two things on the Score app. You just go to the App Store, click on the Score app. You get live tracking. You can track the racers. All you got to do is type in Casey's number, 4422, and you'll be able to track him all the way around the Baja Peninsula, find out where he's at, get race updates, speed, if he's moving, what race mile he's at, if he's broke down or if he's stuck, or which he doesn't get stuck in that thing. That thing will never get stuck.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Facebook, our Score app does that, and you can also click on tracking. You got tracking, then you can watch the streaming, and our streaming is going to be kind of all on contingency and on race day. So we'll have a lot of 36 hours of streaming.
That's awesome. And then as far as the so now, do you guys do anything on Twitter or on Instagram throughout the day, or is it mostly directed to Facebook Live?
Yeah, Facebook Live is our streaming platform, and then on Twitter and Facebook, or Twitter and Instagram, we have social media people that are posting stuff all day long.
Awesome.
But really no short videos. I mean, Roger Norman, our owner, is really tech heavy in his brain, and we've been at this live streaming. And I say live streaming, it's a little bit different because we have 5 drone teams with satellites that are out on the course, all throughout the course, and they're up there, and they're putting a drone up, and we have a repeater on it and a Teradek on it that goes down to a satellite. Satellite goes to our rig in San Diego, which sends us a signal at our rig down here, and we switch it live.
Oh, so it's not just live stream at the start and finish line.
Oh no, yeah, we have 5 cameras on the race course all throughout the 500 miles.
Oh, so okay, so everyone at home can watch actually racing going on during the day, not just start and finish. Okay, that's something new. That's awesome.
Yeah, all race long. I mean, we did a little bit last year. We had a really good thing last year. We had, the first time, you should see the shot from last year. It's online, but we're up really high, and it's almost dusk, and you see headlights coming through the wash. You don't know which truck it is. Could be Rob, could be a Dolly, could be Andy, and there's just lights hauling ass through the wash, and you turn the corner and you saw it was Andy's truck. But we live, because usually all you do is just see that one corner.
Yes,
you see the corner. They slide around the corner.
Absolutely.
And that's all you ever see. So, but we pick them up really far outside of town.
That's awesome. And then as far as the event goes, I mean, it's start day. I mean, everything's starting earlier. So bikes are at 3 a.m.
Yeah, our big push lately is really safety for the bikes. We actually doing a couple things this year. We meet more on safety than anything else. Safety and media. If any improvements in Score, we still want to keep the kind of the old world, no hold barred craziness of the race and the old wild west part of it. But really, bike safety and rider safety is very important in our media push. So we start bikes at 3:30 in the morning. We want to give them a 5-hour lead. Should to be 5-hour lead. So that gives the bikes enough times before you and the rest of the crazy trophy truck drivers try to run them down in the middle of the silt beds. The other thing we're doing, which is really important for the sportsman class, and they may not like this, but we give the sports, anything running the sportsman, we give them a cutoff. We'll give them probably a 60-mile cutoff where they have to take this cutoff. Slower classes, anything in the sportsman classes in class 11 get cut off, because we've been kind of doing the research that most of the people who get caught by trophy trucks are the sportsman class, and we want them to finish. We want them to fulfill their dream or their bucket list or whatever it is. but we just don't want them to get hurt. So we'll try to give as much chance we can to get out front.
I think it's a great. I read about that actually on one of your press releases. I think it's a great idea. Like, you talking right at Mike's?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea. I mean, for anyone, I totally agree that, and especially what they're going through with the San Felipe and Borrego. I mean, it's rough down there. So
it's really rough.
I mean, for a guy that wants to go and try to get that finisher pin, I think what you're doing is only helping. And I think those miles, if you're already tired and far behind, like, those miles are the miles that somebody could get hurt at. So I'm not going to argue with that.
The funny part is the Class 11 guys are such gladiators and such studs. They fight on us. They'll protest and they call us names. The Class 11's like, no, we're going to do the same course. Like, no, asshole, you're not doing the same course. We're not staying open another 4 days while you get your 67 VW around there. You're going to take this shortcut like we want you to, because it's really like time and money, and also it's
absolutely,
there's a cutoff of 23 hours is our cutoff, so you don't want them out there for that long, because they'll do it for 40 hours. They don't care. I mean, it's something to get, like, I'm going to finish. So if you give them that cutoff right there at Mike's, it's going to save them 2-3 hours.
Oh, easy. And not only that, though, the car wear, it's so rough down. That San Felipe section is just so torn up, and the rocks are so aggressive on the whole car, let alone the tires, that it's, to me, I feel that it'd be definitely a safer bet to do that. So, and as far as spectating, I mean, where do you see? Is there any places that they'd rather have not people, or rather not have people go, or would you, if you were to come down from anywhere in the world and never been to the 500, as scorer, would you say there's better places to go watch than others?
Listen, I think there's a little bit of, I think you have to be intelligent when you're spectating a race like this, and it's also has to do, if you get high, get 100 feet, 200 feet off the course, or get to a high vantage point where you can see them coming and going. I don't have it in me where I have to be 2 feet from a vehicle going 100 miles an hour and watch it go by me. I'd rather get on a high vantage point, be out of danger, and kind of watch the whole race as it transpires. We've been working really hard, and it's hard with a 542-mile race. It's hard to police the whole thing and keep people off the course. The Mexican fans are amazing, and they're very passionate about our sport, but for some reason they want it. And they do it in Europe, too. They do it every rally cross. They do all
absolutely.
Everybody thinks it's really cool to be about 2.5 feet away from the course as the guys go by you, until the truck gets out of control or hit a bump. And it really scares us racers. When we're racing through a crowd of people, I check up. I don't want to hit anybody. It scares the shit out of me that I'm going to hit somebody. And they're taking pictures, and they're laying down on the course on jumps, and we want people to spectate safely, and I can't tell them enough. Just get to a high vantage point, get 100 feet from the course. You'll watch more, and it's exciting, and it just stay off the course. Yeah.
So this year the race is actually only really going on 2 highways. So we got Highway 1 and Highway 3. We never actually get to Highway 5 as I guess we do go to Highway 5 if you're going to go try to catch the car, like 10 miles off the course, or off the highway. But around that, basically, there's a lot of places that you can go within a half mile of Highway 1 or Highway 3 and see the car in a lot of areas. And the beach section, to me, is unreal. Like, being able to go down in the Kamloops area and see the race cars and be at a nice town. I mean, as far as all those towns in Baja, is there any problems? I mean, just talking about it, do you have any problems? Is there any threats? Or is there, for somebody that's coming down that doesn't know, that's not scared. But I come down here all the time, and we have a great time. I bring my wife and I bring my boys down here, and we've brought them jeeping, and I've let them experience it, and we don't have problems. But I know that it's a huge thing that everyone's scared of Baja, right? There's people that are still scared that there's problems. I mean, do you feel that the town's pretty much open up to people coming down to Baja and
No, the people in Mexico are amazing. Any problems you have are north of here in the border cities, and really, if you're involved in nefarious shit, you're gonna be in trouble. They've never bugged us racers. We don't have an issue with anybody. Trust me, I get the calls. I get the call from everybody. People, if you're out doing stupid stuff and you're out in the bars late, you're going to get in trouble, and that has nothing to do with the people in Mexico. That's just you being a dumbass. The people in the towns are really open. But you go anywhere south, they love the race. They don't want anything to happen to this race. Roger's working really hard with the officials. We work with the Board of Tourism. We work with the government. They want us down here so much. So yeah, we've never had any issues. There was issues a long time ago, I guess, and people talk about Baja or Mexico in general. Yep. Most of that's in Juarez, and all that has to do with the drug wars and stuff like that. It has nothing they're all killing each other, but they're not hurting the racers. The racers are down here. We're down here to put on a race, do a good show, treat the people really well. They need us down here. SCORE and the races down here have the largest economical impact in the Baja Peninsula. There's 3 million people in the Baja Peninsula, and they live off this race. And the people down pre-running and the tourism. The tourism's huge because it's the racing capital of Mexico.
Yeah. And when you say that, actually, a question, like on the Baja 500, I mean, after the 50th anniversary, do you see SCORE trying to do something to one up the 50th anniversary? I mean, I know it'll only be the 51st or the 52nd, but I mean, as far as the growth of the sport, I mean, obviously it's growing. We're getting a lot more trophy trucks and a lot more fast vehicles, and a lot of people spending a lot of money to come down here and participate in the race. But I mean, do you see SCORE doing anything different to try to do more or create more racing in different areas? I mean, is there anything new coming down the pipeline for the Baja 500?
Well, not for the Baja 500. We're always trying to improve the event, do bigger media, do bigger races. We are, like you just said, we had 42 trophy trucks in the San Felipe 250, which is insane amount of trophy trucks. We have 37 or 38 in this race, which is going to be big, and we're probably going to go over 50 in the Baja 500 and the Baja 1000. We'll have 50 trophy trucks there. So Roger and I are always trying to build the media, build the exposure, do stuff that's bigger and better for it. As far as other races, Roger and I are constantly trying to look for other places to bring in different types of racers, right? We're looking at other states, looking at other countries. There's other countries him and I visit all the time to try to figure out, where we can take SCORE.
Yeah. I just don't know if you ever, I mean, is there ever opportunity of going to new places? I'm not saying new place. I'm just saying like new roads in Baja. I know it's, another thing that people at home don't know about is that all the rancher roads, like when we come down here pre-running, there's 40 or 50 locked gates. When the earlier you come down, there's all these gates that are locked, and, it's one of those situations that, is there a chance of going on new roads and roads that basically we've never been on or raced on, rather than a road that's, been well abused and driven on for, thousands and thousands of miles?
As you know, Jose G is our race director, and he kind of plots the course. We've opened up new roads that haven't been raced on in 20, 30 years, and we always get a lot of pushback from some of the veterans, like, oh, we stopped using that a long time ago. Well, good, it's time to do it, because as you know, down here, the rains and the terrain, everything, they change constantly. So Jose G is always looking to make, he's our race director. He's always looking to make new terrain, new courses, make them tougher, make them longer. Next year, I think this year will be a loop race for the 1,000. This will be a loop race for the 1,000. And I'm not sure if it'll be 1,000 or it'll be 900 miles, but it'll incorporate probably some of the 500 course. But we're always looking for new places.
Yeah. That's awesome. That's just one of those things that, like, as a racer, it's like, you always look at these places that, man, some places we go to, like this year we're, up by Melling Ranch. There's all kinds of new roads that are brand new to it looks like to anybody. I mean, the tractor's still sitting on the side of the road, and it's barely one blade wide and new. And to me, it's fun because, now you're going to a place that not every team has the opportunity to go pre-run it 30 different times. So
did you pre-run?
Yeah, I pre-run the whole thing.
You did? What'd you do at race mile 435, that big mud hole?
Went around it.
On the right or on the rock side? The rock side?
Yes.
Okay, because I heard people were getting into the rocks and sinking.
Oh yeah, no. Well, and being in being in the Can-Am and the UTV, it's pre-running is not the most difficult thing to do because they don't even weigh 2,000 pounds. So we really had no issues. Like we never even got out of the cars once. The only thing that we played in was the Melling Ranch area. It's just being that it's all new tight roads. It sounds like they're doing a bunch of yucca farming in there. There's just a lot going on as far as multiple roads that don't connect. Like it seems like a lot of roads in Baja connect, and that area being new, they don't. So, we took our time in there and played and just played around in that area. But around that, the roads the course is fast. I think the beach section is going to be really fast this year. I think going backwards, because we haven't ran it this way in a couple of years, a lot of the whoops are rolled the other way. So The sharp edges are actually on the backside. To me, I think it's going to make it a lot nicer for the vehicles that don't have all the travel and the bigger tires. So it was a lot of fun to pre-run. I haven't been down here in 2 days, and I heard that the course is getting chewed up, and like it always does, there's a lot of pre-runners out there, and I think everybody wants to be down in Baja. And that's another thing that I want to talk about is pre-running. That's something that a lot of people can do. I know it's probably sacred a little bit, but anyone that wants to come down and race in Baja, the opportunity to come down and drive a UTV or drive a pre-runner, anyone can come down to Baja and pre-run the race course.
Right.
Whether it's it's promoted or not, I personally think that if you want to come down, instead of just buying a race car and taking that chance of going out and seeing if you like it or not going to like it, dude, come down here, bring a UTV, and just go and drive the whole thing. See what it's all about. See how you get from pit to pit or from town to town to get gas, in a pre-runner that can only go 80 miles or 150 miles. Like, that type of feeling of coming down here with your little group of people with one truck and one trailer and one UTV or two UTVs is like, I think there's a lot of fun in that people don't know they can do. I mean, anybody can come down here and pre-run these race courses.
Yeah, but pre-running's really a gateway drug. I mean, you can do it. Not everybody can race, and I actually prefer people come down and pre-run so they get the feel of it a little bit. But it's still a gateway drug because then you think it's like, this is cool. We got tacos and beer. We race like 80 miles. We get the shit beat out of us a little bit, and we're kind of running around. And then you start thinking, you start saving money. I mean, that's how we all start. We all start by ordering on pre-running, and the next thing you know, you're dumping a shitload of money in a race car.
I'm living it. 10 years. 10 years I've been doing this.
Part of it.
I'm still stuck. I can't get away from it. I'm definitely addicted. So now I'm getting really addicted because my family members, my uncle just bought a brand new pre-runner, and my dad's looking at, he just raced a Nora in my pre-runner. And everybody wants to come down now. Everybody's wanting to come down, and not just for the race. Now they want to come down for the week or 2 weeks before. So the 1,000 this year, like, I got my cousins wanting to come down. I got, obviously, my brother who races with me is going to be down here, and I got 2 uncles that are going to come down. It's like, the whole Baja thing is fun, and for me, it's safe. And I want everyone to know that it is safe. If you go down with the right people and play in the right areas, Baja is an epic journey, and I think that everyone needs to see it firsthand. And that's one of the reasons I want to do this podcast, is talk about it in a way that, look, there's all these things that can happen by doing the wrong things, but by talking to the right people and understanding what's going on, there's so much opportunity for an adventure. That's what I want. I want that everyone coming back and commenting on here and going on my social media and going on my Instagram, my Facebook, and telling me that they had stories of them coming down and going to these different races and having a blast. And here's the deal, you could be in a Cherokee driving down the beach camping and watching trophy trucks drive by, this year on the beach at nighttime right before sunset, driving 120 miles an hour and not have to do anything and literally barbecue on the beach and be safe.
I like that you guys are pre-running more in your UTVs too, because that'll kind of help not tear up the course. When you guys got your $1 million pre-runners just ripping the shit out of the course, the UTVs don't tear the crap out of the course. You still get the good experience. It's actually better. You're slower. It's more visceral.
Absolutely.
There's no windshield. There's no air conditioning. You're kind of cruising along. I like the UTVs for pre-running, and they're also the port of entry. They're not expensive.
Yeah,
they're not as expensive as a pre-runner.
Oh, no, and they're reliable. I mean, the best part about it's like driving an everyday car because, the engine and the transmission and all that stuff is stock. We haven't modified anything in a way that, you're waiting for something to break like a souped-up car. For us, we're driving a Can-Am it's bone stock. All we do is we'll reinforce some of the parts that, suspension parts that we're out there smashing on rocks. If it wasn't for that, I'd leave them completely stock.
You put a skid plate on them?
Yeah, put a skid plate on it, and we put all the lower arms are just stronger.
Do you have a little baby Currie rear end in it?
Right? No, I keep that stock. That doesn't mean I have to work on it.
Are you engineering a baby Currie rear end?
No, too much work, man. Those plug and play, man. Put the key in the ignition, go and drive.
It's a growing market. You got to get your R&D guys to build a Currie rear end for the
right
UTVs.
now. Sway bars. We're working on sway bars right now. If we do sway bars, get the suspension to work a little better. That to me, that's the stuff that we're working on. But yeah, I mean, so back to everything. So basically, if you're gonna watch it, you want to come down here and watch. Tech is Friday. There was Tech open today, but the parade starts tomorrow, Friday. Saturday is the race. It's a 1-day race. It starts at 8 in the morning. It's the first trophy truck, and basically the first car probably finish at 7 p.m.
No, first 9.5 hours later, the first trophy truck come in.
Okay.
Yeah, about 9.5 hours later, the first guy's gonna come in. So it'll be like you said, 6-7 o'clock before the guy
Yeah.
Well, who's gonna win?
Yeah. I don't know
who's gonna win.
So I gotta be careful on what I say. I don't know. Right now, Andy McMillan is fast. I've been down here. It's actually funny. We've been down here pre-running on very similar times, and he's got a very unique way of pre-running, and I feel that I've learned a lot just by watching what him and his dad do. They're a very great team. I don't know them personally. I don't hang out with them, but just watching the way they're pre-running, it's pretty incredible. So I don't know. He's fast. Bryce isn't racing.
That's not what I know. That's not what I heard.
Bryce?
Yeah.
No way. I don't think so. Well, we'll see. I mean, his truck's racing, that's for sure.
His truck's racing. I just heard he's going to finish.
Oh, maybe.
I heard he's going to finish. I know Cyril Dupree. So for everybody, Bryce Benzie's truck number 7. He races for Red Bull, and he broke his back in some kind of stupid sand dune accident or something like that. I don't know. Bryce is always breaking something. I call him Happy Wheels, like that little
poor guy can't catch a break.
He's always breaking something.
So can't catch a break. But
so Cyril Dupree, who's a 7-time Dakar champion and a 5-time rally champion, Red Bull came down. They have a whole camera crew follow him. Everybody's following him. He's coming down. We'll see how he does in the truck. But I just talked to somebody that said Bryce might be finishing the race, which is completely stupid because he just got out of a back brace like 3 days ago.
Yeah, but if he does the highway section, he'd be safe. I mean, I'm not saying I wouldn't want to do the same thing. So, but yeah, I mean, at the same point, you know.
But even Bryce will find a way to jump the truck in some kind of way off the highway.
Send it some way. But yeah, another guy that, you know, Cameron, dude, he's finished second so many times. It would be fun to see him conquer it.
If Cameron Steele wins, the whole town's going to collapse. It's going to be amazing because everybody loves Cameron. He's the ambassador of our sport. He's took it second or third in every race. Like magically, I don't know, out of nowhere, he's been second or third, seriously, the past 4 or 5 races. I mean, the 250, he was within 2 minutes, minute and a half of Rob.
Yeah, no, I think he's done a phenomenal job of stepping up the game, that's for sure. So it's exciting to see, and that's another thing that, like, on your live tracking is watching these guys race all day. You know, with the live tracking now, does it actually modify the time so it's actually real of who's in first place, or does it go by basically who goes by the timing stand first?
Yeah, no, it's not really a timing stand. So they have a telemetry satellite, and they'll ping, and they have to update every once in a while. Sometimes you'll see them, like, they'll do lead changes, and that's just because the guy in the back hasn't updated in 4 or 5 minutes, and you got to look at the update times. If it's a reel, they'll be on the same time. Like, last update was 3 minutes, last update was 5 minutes, and then that guy will be in the lead. But for the most part, the guys are tracking, especially in a shorter race like this, they'll track pretty consistent throughout the day. And it's all satellite. They just ping the satellite. It's every 10, 15 seconds they ping the satellite. Awesome. And you'll see them go through, and we'll be able to see their speed, we'll be able to see where they're tracking, who's coming in. It's pretty phenomenal. Our tracking has improved. I mean, we went through, Roger at one point tried to write his own software and build his own tracking, and then we had double tracking, and then one of the big improvements we have is Stella. Do you like the Stella in your car?
Oh yeah. When I went going over to Africa and racing like the Dakar series, that style unit is very helpful. Like, and if you know how to use it and understand it, the Stella deal can become very very beneficial. Like, to me, I think that if other drivers paid attention, that if somebody was coming up behind them that technically they got caught, they should pull over. If the thing is beeping, like, there's so much capability of not getting damage to your race car if you pay attention to the Stella. Yeah,
and what we're talking about is we really partnered with this group called Stella that has a tracker in their car, and it'll be able to tell you if there is there's like an overtake button in the car, and if you're in front of somebody and you want to hit them. I actually kind of like hitting people because it's a lot of fun and like bumping them and moving them out of the way. But now the Stella will tell you there's someone behind you. Instead of nailing them, you can damage your car, damage your lights. They'll tell you someone's behind them, and it starts bleeping. There's no way the guy couldn't say, I didn't see you and I had to pull over. So you can pull over without damaging your car or hurting anybody. I still like bumping people, though. But there's also SOS button, mechanical button on it. The thing, we can talk to people. We can text message back and forth on it. So that was a huge leap in safety that SCORE really put in a couple years ago. And there's not a person. If the driver feels safer in the car because we have a small piece of equipment and it's an incremental cost for us, Roger's going to do it.
Yeah, no, I love it. I think it's great. Because not only that, the motorcycle rider thing, right? Like, if I'm catching a motorcycle rider, he's obviously a minimum of 5 hours behind us, and at that rate, or 5 hours off the pace, and at that rate, he's tired. It's not like you're passing some lead guy that's fresh and just got on the motorcycle. You're passing a guy that's probably very, very tired, fatigued, or hurt, or the bike is damaged, and now not having to come upon him trying to rev your engine and get over his engine, which he's probably wearing some sort of ear protection, and now you have a button that I can physically see it. If he goes around a corner, I can actually see the Stella lighting up on his handlebars,
letting him know
to pull over. And to me, I think that's huge, right? The motorcycle thing is a huge safety thing, and I want to see motorcycle. I'm a motorcycle rider. I grew up riding dirt bikes. I've ridden down here many, many times, and you don't want to see them go away. But at the same time, the safety of everyone going home to their family is super important, and that I think that Stella, in that aspect, paying attention to that unit could save your life and save the back of your car, and all the other features that the cell unit has can, if there was an accident, to be able to help save a life in an incident where you need to get a hold of the sanctioning body. To me, that is very helpful rather than trying to get on a cell phone that doesn't work in the middle of Baja.
Right. So I got there's another thing. Roger put out a tweet a couple of days ago, and I want to explain it because it's pretty important. We've done something that nobody really talks about. In the old days, because we've been racing for so long, right? Because we're so old. The courses were just a course, and then sometimes, to save time and money, the chase trucks and your chase teams, who are all our friends and families and people who we really bond with, they have to bomb down the course to catch you, right? So we are now designing the courses where we don't even allow that. Like, the course doesn't allow it. You don't put a course line where, like, okay, well, they're going to catch them here, 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 and here. We don't put 3 pit stops in a row, so you have the chase teams have a tendency to chase from one to the next and next. Yes. We're like, okay, we know strategically, because the people who build the courses are racers. And we're like, okay, we know you're going to have to send 2 chase teams on that way and 2 chase teams that way, and that's what you're going to have to do, right? Yeah. Where we used to do it before, it's like straight down. It's like, okay, now your brother and your sister and your mom are going to get in a van, and they're going to haul ass 700 miles down the peninsula, all the traffic and all the stuff and all the roads without guardrails. So we haven't had a fatality on the road on the chase teams. I think it was for 3 or 4 years, and that used to be a lot. Yeah. There were way more. Everybody used to say the safest place to be is in a race car, because the chase teams is insane, because you have people who have to be at a certain spot at a certain time, and they're bombing down the road.
Absolutely. Yeah, we're doing actually this year. So I have my strategy is I have one truck that's doing all the fueling, and having the same pit stop basically at, race mile 140, race mile 270, the truck doesn't have to haul butt down the road to try to catch me nowhere. So we're in the same spot.
You're doing out Mike's Road? Or
Yeah, right before Mike's Road in that area. But I mean, that whole right on that Highway 3, we don't have to, I'm not
50 feet off the highway, right?
Yeah, of course.
Because that's the rule?
Yeah, of course.
And your guys have fire suits?
Of course.
So it was a rule that I made up that I was pissed about, because I review all the footage. All your guys have to have fire suits back. Do you know why?
Well, car caught on fire, right?
A bunch of cars caught on fire, but we couldn't figure out why. A bunch of cars, because Tavo caught on fire, and so did Eugenio caught on fire. Because we didn't know back then is that there's a guy, and he's a friend of mine now, Vincent. He created that Pressure Pro. So now they're doing pressurized fuel, 120 gallons in 23 seconds. They're doing pressurized. So there's a guy, right? And I was yelling at Menzie. I yelled at every team. Like, you're going to use that. We're going to do 2 things. We're going to ban it, or you guys are going to use fire suits, period. Because the guy's, he's got flip-flops, T-shirt, and he's got a fire hose, like gigantic. He's got a 4-inch hose with a 3.5-inch vent coming out of it. And he's jamming 13 PSI worth of fuel into that car, and he's got flip-flops. I'm like, you're at it.
That's crazy.
Because I was watching the video with Stephen Eugenio, and I'm like, and what happened is they vented it wrong, and they had a vent tube that came out down below the driver's side, right by the exhaust, which would normally be okay for overflow because this pours out. This jammed out because you have a 3.5-inch tube, went all the way through, vented out to like 1.5 inches or like an inch tube. So it came out like a fire hose, like a rocket into the ground, splashed up, the whole car caught on fire. And we couldn't figure out, I was like, why is the fuel coming out of that little tube at 700 miles an hour? I couldn't figure it out because they were using that Pressure Pro. Which are very, very safe units if you vent them properly, and everybody north of or south of the driver has to have a fire suit on, tire changers, everybody.
Yeah. No, we're going we went a different route. The safety thing is so, it's gnarly down here, and I try not to bring down a big team of people, and I don't have 50 guys come down to run 10 people per pit, and I feel that with that unit, you definitely have to have 5 to 10 guys to do one pit. So that is a gnarly deal. If you guys ever watch on YouTube, go check out the a trophy truck pit stop. It's like a NASCAR Formula One pit in the desert with 40-inch tires, and they're pumping 120 gallons of fuel in under 50 seconds. So it's an incredible deal to watch these guys come out here and bust it out. And there's 45 trophy trucks that are all doing that now. So for the safety side of it, when you look at it, it's not 5 or 6 teams anymore. No, there's 45 trophy trucks.
There's 110 of those units out. because you need multiple units.
Yeah,
And he's
yeah.
got multiple units down there. At every pit stop, he's got a fueling system called a Pressure Pro, and they're unbelievable. People need to know that this is a sport. Yes, it's dangerous and stuff like that, but it's a real sport. This is real racing. This is high dollar, crazy racing. We have pit stops. It didn't used to be. The pit stops, you're like, you can hang out, do your pit stops, and now like 2 minutes in and out.
Yeah.
That could, when I got to credit Clyde Stacy and really Jeff Geiser and those guys who really kind of stepped the games up. When those guys stepped the game up and they started putting, strategy in it, like that's when we had all those finishes where everybody's like 13 seconds, 15 seconds. I'm at the finish line. Every finisher looks at me like, what up? I'm like, I don't know. I'll check the times. I don't know. We have to look at it, assess, but they're all within 30 seconds each other.
Yeah, which is an incredible deal to have. I mean, it's happened multiple times where to have two trucks drive 500 miles in the dirt the whole way and finish within a minute it blows me away that can even happen.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It is crazy.
You just still didn't answer me who's going to win.
Right?
Who's going to win?
Dude, I'm probably going to have to go with Andy McMillan.
You think Andy?
Yeah.
Andy won last year, so he's good. He'll be good. I think I always go with Rob. Rob's a safe bet for me. Rob McCackern is, he was second in 2016. He was third last year. Rob just won the San Felipe 250. Rob's in his stride right now. That guy is
he's a machine.
He is dialed in.
He's definitely, he's got it. I actually have a question. Look, this is I get a lot of people asking me. So is score racing, is it VCP to VCP or is it 150 feet off the course?
What does that mean, VCP to VCP?
Like when you race, do you drive VCP to VCP and not worry about the red line? Or do you drive a designated race course? This gets asked a bunch.
Well, I don't know if I understand the question. I mean,
basically, like if there's two VCPs,
right,
and the race course goes out and comes back, but there's a way that you can drive straight to it.
Well, here's the answer, right? If you miss a VCP,
yeah, it's penalty.
You're gonna get penalty.
Yeah, but if you don't miss it,
I can't tell you to cut the course. I'm just telling you that.
I'm just asking. No one seems to know. So I'm only asking, it's one of those things people ask, right? You watch videos, like we were on the way down here, watch a video of Robbie Gordon in 95 driving the beach.
Like, oh, no, I remember. That's back when we didn't have VCPs back then.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. The VCPs, let's make understand. The VCPs generally are because we get a lot of pushback from the Ajitos and the farmers and stuff like that, right? So we'll start mapping the course, and the guy will go, hey, listen, I have a $400 million crop. That's always some ridiculous number, right? $1 million crop here, and I don't want your trophy truck guys going through my course, right? You're 100% right. There's a road here, and you could go to there. So we'll put a VCP on this corner to make you make that right, hit that VCP, and take a left. Some smart asshole will think he's going to go straight and whatever, but I mean, it's really out of respect for the course and our farmers, or there's generally some danger that we want to steer you guys away from. So cut the course at your own risk. You could get penalized. Your competitors could protest you. Are you 100 feet, 150 feet, or 100 feet away from the VCP? You could miss it. But the VCPs are there for a reason. Sometimes because the guys who mark the course want to be an asshole and it's fun. That's part of it. The other part is we want to keep you away from dangers and aqueducts and infrastructures where people and farmers, we have to somewhat be respectful. There's a lot of farmers who love us down here, who want us to be here, but sometimes when they have a crop and they have stuff that infrastructure they built, aqueducts and stuff like that, we want to keep them away from that.
Yeah. All right. Well, hey, I thank you for coming down and talking for the first podcast. And, I want everyone to know the Baja 500 is an event that's going to go on every single year. It's gone on for 50 years. This is the 50th anniversary. I want everyone to come down and see it firsthand. If you can't come down and see it, I want you to watch it live, whether you're on Facebook or if you download the app, it's free, correct?
Yeah, free. Download the app for free, and you can track Casey.
You can track everybody. I want everyone to watch everybody. The trophy truck racing is phenomenal. These trucks are over 850 horsepower. They're a couple $100,000 machines that can drive, 3-foot whoop-de-doos at 110 miles an hour. So if you're going to watch it, you need to see it firsthand. If you're not, get online, check it out. I want everyone to see it. Bud, once again, thank you so much. And I want everyone to figure out what they want me to do next. Please comment, please share, please tell me what to do. We're all about learning here. This is an experience for me, stepping out of my comfort zone and getting onto a microphone and talking. I want to do more. I want to get back to the sport as much as I can. The sport has done a lot for me and for my family. And for right now, I feel that the Baja 500 is now, we are going to race the Baja 1000 in November. I will do another one of these. I'm going to bring in some drivers. I want to get some perspective from other people in the sport. But I think for the first one, Bud did a fantastic job giving us a lowdown with score, because this is the 500 and it's the big one. So thank you.
Are you going to race trophy truck? Appreciate it. Thank you for having your guest. Are you going to race trophy truck, or are you going to race hammer class?
We haven't decided yet. It's undetermined. I'm in a complicated situation, but I want to win. So right now, I want to win the 50th anniversary Baja 500. I won the 50th anniversary Baja 1000. So we'll see what happens. I got 4 months to decide on what I'm going to do. So we're going to go home. We already know some things that we're going to change on it to make some more speed. But we'll make that decision probably October 31st.
Oh, good luck, man. I'll be tracking you tomorrow.
Thank you very much.